And welcome to Let's Play Valis for the Sega Genesis, the final episode. Last episode, we killed Reiko, and that is terrible. However, we are now on rather hostile ground, as the music will tell you, and making our final assault on Rogueless's castle. So I figure now's as good a time as any to talk about evil. The villains in the Valis series aren't especially spectacular, but they do provide some fun moments, like Rogueless's previous "what was I thinking" moment, Megas actually respecting Yuko's power and considering her as equal, well, Turbo Megas anyway, MSX2 Megas was a whole bag of dicks, and Glame's asking an typical asshole villain question for non-asshole reasons. However, it does show that Rogueless is one hell of a wizard, considering he was able to take the mystic forces that oppose meddling in the cosmic balance, tie them up, and basically just put them in a sack, and then play with the cosmic balance like he was just dialing up a thermostat or something. I'll turn the dial more towards evil. Oh look! Electronic Arts has bought Origin Systems. Let's see if I turn it a little more. Oh no! Let's see. George Lucas is considering more original trilogy edits. Let's turn it a little more. That kind of thing, you know? Anyway, if there's any level where you are going to die from direct damage from enemies, it is this one. Enemies can be rather tough, fast, and even just plain unexpected, and even your 32 life bars can drop fairly quickly if you're not careful. We have the level 3 V sword, but we won't be keeping that for very long as there's a more powerful one. So soon? But yeah, Rogueless really is one of the premier assholes of the Valis universe, and it takes 2 games to show everything he's done on that account, especially considering how he basically sets up the events of Valis 2 Turbo. Not the swords I need. I look like a battlefield player hopping like that. Okay, and here's the final sword, the Exploder. You actually have to work pretty hard to get a full-powered Exploder sword, and I don't do the legwork, so I have to go into the final boss fight with only 2 bars on the meter. I guess I'll just have to live with myself for that one. Oh yes, since I managed not to die in this playthrough against all odds, the effects of dying are that your sword power gets reduced to 1 and your MP get reduced to 0, which is a real pain if it happens in a boss section because there's no way to really recover your weapon power. If you continue, you lose all of your sword power, as in you start with the basic sword that you did at the beginning of the game. But it's actually easier to recover from something like that because you have the whole level to rebuild your weapon strength. While death is off the table, this is a pretty obnoxious set of jumps due to the sometimes dodgy hit detection of the various platforms. So I may drop a few more times than I'd like. Me understand sword. Oh, I don't even need that. What was I thinking? I was thinking, hey, I'll pad this out by flopping around. Rogueless is actually an easier boss set than Reiko, but he can still put a number on you if you don't know how to deal with his patterns, because he does attack fast and furious. You'll see what I mean. After all, we're in his boss room. I could cheese this boss with firing, but I shall honor Reiko by using her technique. Eventually. There we go. Now, the first form is fairly easy as he just shoots out these fire dragons that spit fire. And you can just destroy those. But you really need to be in good shape for the second form, and well, it's not looking too good here. His second form has two patterns. First is this. The three rings actually start fairly low and expand as they move outwards. Yeah, I actually had to grab that hidden health. The second are his slash waves, which you can actually duck under, so long as you're not attacking, as attacking actually increases the size of Yuko's hitbox when she's crouching. Rogueless is also pretty durable, so you'll want to dodge as much as possible, but really, you're playing an action game. That should be second nature by now. And that's boss, and that's game. No, it wasn't. Yeah, I had a feeling this would end in tears. And that's our ending. Well, this was a fun ride, come to think of it. Let's see, director Eiji Kikuchi. Don't know who that is. But I had to make sure that I was right about who this was. Osamu Nabeshima is actually a fairly prolific animator and director. He served as key animator on the Akira movie, and was also the director on a couple of the Saint Seiya OVAs and Saint Tail and all that. So he's no stranger to this kind of thing. Now, final verdict, is it a bad game? Not by any stretch. I have played many terrible games in the past. It's just not a spectacular one. I first really decided to go back to these games because I remembered how in EGM there would be, fairly decent spread whenever a new one was coming out. And this was really back when companies were just throwing out IPs to see what stuck. And 3 games was fairly respectable back in 1991. The Mega Man series only had 4, and really so did only Super Mario Bros. And, well, hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, at least it was short. That's the end of Let's Play Valis for the Sega Genesis, and see you next time.